Are you in need of a new haircut? Tired of the same barbershop? Come to Sal's Barber Exclusive for our family experience. We have 45 years of business experience in haircutting. We offer the basic hair trimmings as well as stylings. No reservations, walk-ins only. Come on in and see Denise, Monica, and Sal. The number's 201-327-7037. 6 Church Street in Ramsey on the corner of Main and Church. Our hours are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 to 6. Thursdays, 8:30 to 7:30, and Saturdays, 8 to 5. Closed on Mondays and Sundays. Come to Sal's Barber Exclusive.
So, hey, what's going on? Hey,
How are you?
Week 4, Mike. And
Week 4?
our computer had a slight stroke.
Yeah, that's all.
And we apologize for that, but we're back now for the rest of the season through the playoffs.
Quarter of the way done right now, 4 weeks in.
We got some separation.
A little bit, yeah.
But you're right, a little bit, because a lot of these teams are tight.
Yep, the top teams are tight like usual. You got a few muddling in the middle, and then the bottom teams are, hanging in there.
And some, I won't call the teams retreads, but I'll say some players that have been retreaded onto a different team.
Yeah, a lot of shake-up this year.
Let's clear a lot of stuff up tonight, Mike.
Yeah.
We got a lot. So let's get started with the flag division.
All right.
All right.
It's no longer a B division.
No, it's
or
not.
A division.
It's called flag.
Right. Now it's just flag.
A lot of yakking about the merger and everything else. People putting up ridiculous stats
Oh
about
my goodness.
how the A's are beating the B's this bad.
Yeah.
But you know what? Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
You're out there playing. It's reduced to 8-man, which is what you played basically, except for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
You've been playing this all along, so it's nothing new.
Nothing new.
Look, the survival of the league is the most important thing.
That is right.
There weren't really too many alternatives with 5A teams.
No. Even 5 was pushing it,
really?
At this point.
At that point, it might have been even 4.
Yeah, 3, 4 teams that were left, and
so the league had to do what it had to do to maintain some level of integrity.
I like it.
It's not bad.
I like it.
I've done a few of the games where the teams have played against each other, and it's still football.
Yeah.
You still got to get out there and throw the ball, play defense, and everything else.
Yeah.
So I don't think, and you notice that the arguments have lessened now.
Yeah, they're still out there. The B's are barely beating the A's, or the A's are barely beating the. Oh my goodness.
No one cares.
You know what? What it comes down to is, regardless if they beat them by 100 or 1, they're still winning. Whatever team wins. Everybody relax. We're going to find out at the end of the year.
It's like a horse race, Mike. If you win by your nose, they pay you the same money as if you win by 10 lengths.
That's true.
And that's all there is to it. So let's get to it.
All right.
Last week, All-Stars, in a performance that I'm sure was not one of their best.
No.
7-0 over the Outlaws. Now, again, the Outlaws have always been the type of team that plays hard against the better teams.
Yeah.
Kind of like show up. They show up.
They show up, yeah.
They play hard. So the All-Stars, and the All-Stars every once in a while throw in a clinker, but they're able to win them.
They are. I was across the field from this game, and I really, just listening to it, kind of looking over whenever I could, I really couldn't tell who was winners. And obviously, 7-0.
The All-Stars found a way.
Outlaws, hey, good showing by them. 7-0.
And they played hard. Diablo's all over the Warriors, 34-14.
Yep.
Warriors off to a kind of a tough start.
Tough start. Yep.
And the Diablos just doing what they've been doing, and they beat everybody you put in front of them anyway.
Yeah.
So that really doesn't matter. Here's the one that surprised me, Mike. I was ready to anoint the Trojans as the next team to watch.
Yeah.
In this league. I did one of their games. They came down with a small army.
Yeah, they had a lot of guys there again on Sunday, But quarterback had to leave at halftime. The defensive captain had to leave at halftime. And you could see it.
Well, Mike's a good quarterback, but the Hawkeyes, let's remember, they were in the finals last season.
And they're always in it. They're always in that top 4 teams in the then B division. But So they're always around. And yeah, I heard a lot of talk, or read a lot of talk about the Trojans, thinking, yeah, these guys.
And I did one of their games, and these guys can play. They're very big up front.
Yeah, I think they
They're
get
fast and strong. But
they get camera shy. I think some of these teams get camera shy.
Well,
hey.
you know, and the Hawkeyes now had Tony back. I know in week 1, Tony wasn't here.
Okay.
When they got beat by the Bulldogs. And
he's back. All right.
Back, and he put up 36. And speaking of the Bulldogs, a team that we thought was close to never existing again.
Yeah. They just stick around,
they came
huh?
up with a small army also.
All right. Yeah. These teams now that these teams are merging, you're getting. I remember doing the Warriors game, and they came down. I swear they had 25 guys on their team. A full offense, full defense with subs.
That's great. I think that's great.
It is.
That's great. And the Bulldogs moved to 3-1.
Yeah.
With the win over the Suicide Squad. Their quarterback is the same quarterback, a good quarterback.
Okay.
Knows his way around the field. So I think the Bulldogs are going to be a factor all season long.
All right. Yeah, they're hanging in there.
Savages over the NWO. NWO 0-4 right now.
Yeah, Savages though. I wonder, who are these guys? I'm 3-1.
We got to get them on film.
Yeah, see what they're doing. We'll get them. We're getting everybody this year.
Not only how good they are, but who they are.
Yeah, who are they?
Who are these guys?
You know, it's
Clark Kent from the ACFL.
Yeah, we do this a lot with these teams this year. Who are they? Oh, they're this guys and this guys. So
I found that out about the 6-on-6 team, which
we'll get to that. Yeah.
But the Goons putting up 34 without Kenny.
Without that crew, that Spartan crew, right? What were they? The Spartans, Economy Fuel.
Yeah.
They're off playing in another league now, and
but they'll be back in the spring.
Okay.
Coming up to the 8th. But they put up 34. A lot of those same athletes that caught those passes that Kenny threw,
are still there.
And they're getting it done.
Yeah.
The Allegre Giants rebound from a defeat
nicely
to the Trojans
nicely
by taking care of the New Jersey Lions. And I got to tell you, I did this game.
Okay.
Score at halftime of this game was 8-0.
Wow.
So the Lions continue to play good defense. They hang in every game.
Yeah.
This team, they should take an ad out in the paper for a quarterback.
Yeah, you would have thought they would have been able to grab some guys, you know?
They need a quarterback. Rob, the old Crush quarterback,
okay,
supposed to be their quarterback this year.
All right.
But he's had some problems with injuries.
That happens.
And they can't find anybody. They got athletes. They got guys that can catch. They got guys that can run.
Yeah.
They just can't find
get the
anybody
ball
to hand off the ball and throw it. And then the game that surprised me.
Very surprising.
Canes over the Wolfgang by a point.
By a point.
And Wolfgang is another team that has quarterback issues because they have athletes on this team.
Yeah.
Omar is a great receiver.
Yes.
And I talked to him a couple of times. He says, we need a quarterback. They believe this quarterback is young that they have now, but they can develop him.
All right.
And he'll be around for a few seasons. And it was funny because I worked at Brookdale Park.
Okay.
And I drive into the parking lot, and who's in his car smoking a cigarette? Wally. And I go to Wally, what are you doing here? He goes, well, we have a game at 9 o'clock. I said, not on this field.
Yeah.
Turns out he was in Wassesing Park. So we had to drive the mile and a half.
I'll tell you, it's only a mile and a half between fields, but you got to park. It's like a 4-mile walk sometimes. Oh, my
It's a good thing he made it because without him, they might have not won by a point.
Yeah, he was sitting in the car warming up. That's how the old guys do it.
The cigarette was puffing and the window was wide open. So again, and that's all the scores from.
Yeah, that was it from the flag division, and
that's where it is. So
we're starting to bunch up. We got a lot of 3-1 teams, a lot of 3-0 because of buys.
Standings right here in the mic, and you're absolutely right in terms of teams bunching up.
Especially the AFC. Look at this. You got 2 3-0 teams, 2 3-1 teams. Warriors right there in the middle, 2-2. Then as we go down.
Well, you have the All Stars and Diablos undefeated, like you said, banging heads, and the Goons at 3-1.
Yeah, that only lost to the Diablos.
And the Savages have won 2 in a row to get to 3-1.
Boom.
And you look at the NWO and the Sons of Anarchy. I'm a little surprised that they're a tough defensive team.
Yeah.
Canes, Bankers lost at first. They were 2-0. Allegre Giants.
3-1. Bulldogs 3-1, like we said.
Surprising. Trojans at 2-2, and I think they're going to be back.
I think last week was just more of a fluke. You lose your quarterback, because it wasn't. I don't believe it was that big of a separation at halftime. When he left, it may have been a score or no more than a score, and Hey, man, you lose your quarterback and your defensive captain.
Yeah, well, the quarterback is big, Mike.
Yeah.
The quarterback is big. I'll tell you right now, Mike, I think, and I don't know what you think, but I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
I think the NFC is probably a little bit more balanced than the AFC. Because you look at the All-Stars and the Diablos and you figure they're going to be there. The Warriors seem to have hit reverse.
Yeah.
The Goons are 3-1 and the Savages are 3-1, but I don't know anything about them. I mean,
Right. Well, we saw the Goons already lose to the Diablos in week 3.
That's right.
All right. And the Goons really hurt themselves in that. They gave up, I think, 2 or 3 safeties, and it just unraveled on them quickly in the second half.
I think with the NFC, though, you go 6 deep here.
Yeah.
Any team that wants to win. Now, I know the All-Stars, the Warriors. I don't think the Warriors have the horses so far. They won a couple of games.
I don't know why. That's one of those teams where you can't figure out why they're 2-2.
Yeah.
All right? This is a team that's always on top in their division. It's usually always them and the Goons. Yeah, and they have an army. Even go back to when the Express was down in B, it was always Warriors Express. Now it's Warriors Goons, and they're always battling it out. And I don't know, they look a little different. I don't know if it actually hurts them that they have so many guys. Maybe these guys need to be out on the field and keep playing. I don't know. I'm hoping they get it together.
This season so far, it's been a lot of fun, but it's a bit of an enigma. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Whatever's going to happen. Let's go to now the suddenly most popular division in this league.
Oh, yeah.
The 6-on-6 flag.
I love the 6-on-6.
And there were some surprises here, boy, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
The Taxi Blazers only putting up, and so I said every week I wanted the Blazers in the over.
There you go.
They got killed.
My goodness, that game, I can't believe I watched a defensive battle.
Who says there's no defense
in 6-on-6? My goodness, 14-14 going into overtime with the Bears. Bears found their stride. Missing Jim, he's not with them this year, and they're starting to find their stride. Watch out 6-on-6. Bears are back. That's a tough team. You don't want them getting their stride.
Well, again,
always a tough one. Great on defense, great athletes. That team has football players.
Yeah, they do. They do. As a matter of fact, and I'm just going to skip ahead one game. The Cobras, who defeated the Dozers, and suddenly the Dozers have lost 2 in a row. And certainly, with the Dozers, it's a personnel issue.
Yeah, but
showing up with 7 guys.
Yeah. But I mean, they also played Sam's Taxi last week, and this new Cobras. This is the quarterback from the Dukes who ran. And they just ran wild in the touch division last fall. I mean,
yeah, there were a lot of people upset with that, but their quarterback can still throw the ball.
Yeah,
the Dozers made a game out of it.
Right.
Again, I believe the fact that the last 8 minutes of the game they
that happens. That happens.
So we're getting the Bears and the Cobras this Sunday at Brookdale. I'm doing that game, so I'm very anxious to see these 2 teams, and we're capturing.
Yeah, I think we're going to send Tommy out there to capture that game.
Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a game. Of
course,
the nice snatch got it right between the eyes again.
Yeah.
And the All-Stars, Tatano must have been in a good mood Sunday.
Yeah, that was his second game that day after almost losing. He must have been pretty upset about only putting up 7 points in the first game. So he was like, all right.
I'm sure the flag team got an earphone from Tatano.
Yeah, my goodness. Yeah.
But again, the Snatch, great bunch of guys, still the greatest name in the league. They show up, they have fun, and really for them, that's what it's all about. I wish more teams thought that way.
And at 4-0.
And at 4-0, let's call it, the lightning strikes again. They beat a new breed team who really, in my opinion, Mike, they're 2-2, could easily be 4-0. At least 3-1.
Yeah, this was a surprising game, actually. I thought, New Breed was going to come in, Lightning was going to roll. Even some of the guys on the New Breed were like, what are you doing here? This is going to be a rough game. And they hung in there. I don't know if the Lightning just kind of put it in cruise control in second half, but,
No, the Breed's a good team.
Got JT out there.
Well, I said they have athletes and JT.
And JT.
Just the corner man in the end zone.
Yeah, hey.
He's running that play for 30 years. They can't stop him.
But they can't stop him. You got MOB back there flinging it, running it. Yeah, it's a pretty decent team.
They have a real good team. They lost their quarter. No, they didn't lose. It was the Wildcats that lost their quarterback.
Yes.
The Breed just hasn't gotten a lot of breaks, and they've had personnel issues.
I was just going to say, they showed up. They had 1 sub. That's tough. Especially, that's the 3rd game of the day. That was the late afternoon game. A lot of these guys I saw guys from the All-Stars. I saw, from all over different teams. these guys are tired. I understand. You know,
And Mike,
personnel.
And Mike from the Lightning, I always kid him. I say it looks like you're chucking hand grenades.
Yeah, he's got that
throw.
weird sidearm.
He gets it downfield.
But he gets it downfield, and they
Yeah.
are 4-0.
And the All-Stars are looking up at them right now.
Yeah, they are. They got the 1-game lead.
Can't wait to see that game.
Pew, you better believe it.
big
They
one.
just need to get that defense. Defense for the Lightning.
Well,
And then watch out.
They can, if we can't defend you, we can outscore you.
Hey, you know what the Saints used to do that, and they won a Super Bowl doing that
Well,
a
the
couple
Cobras
years
and
ago.
Dozers we talked about.
Yep.
Orange Lantern.
And they are back.
They're back. Light them up. Now, this Light 'em Up team has played a lot of close games.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, in Washington Park, you probably have 4 of the better teams this Sunday
Right.
playing there.
Yeah.
I know you've got Light 'em Up against. Let me get the schedule here. Where is that?
Oh yeah. Where is that schedule?
Washington
Live
Park.
TV.
We have Sam's Taxi Blazers against the
Orange
Lantern.
Lantern.
That's a finals game.
That is.
right
That's gonna be
now. And a Lightning versus Light 'em Up. So you got teams that can really score points.
Yeah. Well, 6-on-6, baby.
It should be interesting. Deep Threats put up 42 in beating the Blancs
Yeah.
and the Yambis.
Deep Threats look good in that game too. We got that one captured. Lot of some good defense. I mean, it could have been the Blanks blanking it, but yeah, Deep Threats looked pretty good.
And here's another game. But the Yambis beating the Bankers. Rojas did not quarterback the Bankers Sunday.
That was a great game, though. That was definitely the game of the week that
A
week.
lot of new Yambis.
A lot of new Yambis. Yeah, I didn't recognize too many of them out there, you know?
Wilson and Mike
Yeah.
Torello? Or
Yeah, Rich.
Rich Torello,
Yeah.
They were all sitting in him.
But yeah,
Anyway,
you know, this was a great game. They lost by an extra point, and that was it.
If Rojas is in, do they win? I think so.
Yeah,
I think the scrambling ability of Rojas.
there was a lot of running in that
There's
game.
a lot of running.
It
and
was
I think he'd have made the difference.
definitely go back and watch that game. That was a great game.
I agree with you. And finally, our touch division,
Yeah.
which still has some interest in it. People are still kind of watching the touch division.
Yeah.
And let's take a look at the results from last week's game. The Militia, a former Mike McCarthy get on the bandwagon team,
Yeah.
took care of the A team, who was a semifinalist in their conference last season.
Yeah.
The A team, last couple weeks, has looked more like the Z team.
Yeah.
They're really not performing very well. They're not scoring a lot of points.
Yeah. No, they're not.
Teams are jumping on them. Their defense has not been good. And
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen to you in a touch division.
Yeah.
If you're not scoring and you're not playing defense, you're going to get beat 37-12.
Yeah, that's what is going to happen. But I mean, we got the Panthers, which are the old Flight Boys now. New name, Banana Slugs, always in there in the fall. Watch out for the old timers. Somehow these old guys still win, you know, in the touch division.
They had a regular. Banana Slugs and the Wildcats have had wars over the years.
Yes.
And it just turns out this time it was the Wildcats'
Yeah.
turn to win.
Oh, what was that? That was the finals from last fall
Yeah.
in the touch division. No
And
controversy
then
going on there, but-
the Mean Machine over the replacements,
All right, Mean Machine.
getting their initial.
Getting off the schneid, yeah.
And so you look at the league. Banana Slugs Panthers are 3-0. Panthers, the old Flight Boys.
Yeah,
And I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to that Panther Slug game.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be
We'll get it
Age and Beauty against Youth and Determination.
most likely we'll get that game twice, I'm thinking. Regular season. And as of right now, I mean, that's what it looks like. The Panthers and the Slugs are going to go on
Well,
to the
right now,
finals.
I mean, you look.
Wildcats always the wild card,
unless the
you know, but
unless the A team gets really hot.
I'll tell you, the A team, when I saw them, were...
Militia, Wildcats, Slugs, and Panthers. I mean, we're halfway through. Is that what I see?
Yeah, that's where it's going to go. I don't see much change in that.
No, unless,
To be
like
honest
I
with
said,
you.
the Wildcats get hot, they've still got to play the Panthers.
Right?
I think they have to play. Well, they beat the Slugs.
Yeah.
Slugs now have that loss, so they're 1-up.
Yeah.
2-1 right now. The Wildcats, or 3-1. I'm not sure.
Yep.
But they had a tough break on week 1. They lost their quarterback.
Yeah, that's always
Matt was
rough.
quarterback, and
Yeah.
he's going to be out for a few weeks. But the Wildcats have athletes,
Yeah.
and if they get some people showing up, and I'm hearing that from everybody. We can't get guys to show up. Can't get guys to show up. What are you signing to play for?
Got to get new guys.
Really get new guys.
Yeah.
So we were going to introduce a new segment last week, and then with the computer blowing up, It didn't happen. So we're going to do it this week, Mike. And before we get to this part, why don't we get to a couple of commercials?
Yeah.
Pay some bills.
Pay some bills would be nice.
And so we get paid.
That's right.
All right, be right back.
Athenia Mason Supply is New Jersey's #1 source for masonry supplies. We're the wholesale one-stop location with a comprehensive selection of cultured stones, bricks, blocks, concrete, cement, sand, and the accessories that make it all come together. Whether you're a masonry contractor or doing the work yourself, skip the big box stores and go right to the specialist at Athenia Mason Supply. We have everything you need to enhance the appearance of your home while providing lasting beauty and value. Stone or concrete pavers can define an exterior space while offering an old-world elegance. A fireplace or brick barbecue can be the central focus of a living room or outdoor living space. Inside or out, nothing adds timeless beauty to a home than the look of cultured stone or brick veneer. Athenia Mason Supply is where your improvement plans should start. Visit our website for ideas or just stop by. Deliveries are available to all of New York and New Jersey, including the islands.
As restaurants come and go, it is rare to find an establishment like Steve's Sizzling Steaks. Steve's has focused on excellent food, comfortable ambiance, and a friendly staff. Times sure have changed since Steve's first opened their doors, but what hasn't changed is the family atmosphere that makes Steve's so special. Open 7 days a week, Sunday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Located at 620 Route 17 South in Carlstadt, New Jersey, or call 201-438-9677 for your reservation.
And we're back, and again, every time I see that steak commercial,
It's good,
I
isn't
want
it?
to get out of here, man.
Yeah, it's right down the road,
I
man.
gotta ask O'Connell how his steaks work.
Yeah, I think we need to go and just find out for ourselves.
Yeah, let's have a contest for us.
Steve, send us some steaks, please.
Speaking of contests, we're running one this season. Now, let me give you the parameters, and Mike, if I miss anything, of course, you'll jump in.
Of course.
We're gonna have a weekly segment now where we're gonna pick, Mike and I are gonna pick all the games, and we're challenging anybody out there to pick against us. Now, you don't have to play every week if you don't want to play, but it's going to be judged on how many weeks somebody beats us.
Yeah. We'll keep it running total.
And
We'll
that's
see.
going to include playoffs.
Yes, it will.
So basically we have about 8 weeks left to run this.
Yeah.
Right, more or less, including playoffs. We're going to play, now Mike, you're going to post our picks on the board?
Yes, I will.
You'll do
Yes,
it?
I
Okay.
will.
And then if you want to challenge our picks, just put a response, your picks, and we will track them during the course of the season.
Yes, we will.
And same $75 gift certificate to Steve Sizzlers. And
That'd be nice.
it's not a
Get
bad
some nice
thing.
steaks.
You guys play on the board and put your comments on the board. Now you can actually get paid for making the right pick. So we're going to get right to it, Mike.
Yeah.
Our first set of games, Hackensack High School, the grass field. We have the Yombies and the New Breed. Go ahead, Mike.
I got to take the Yombies in this one. You know, I know we just said New Breeds, you know, they're a good team. I don't know. I think the Yombies, they got the scramble. They're still, you know, they're still out there. They're still the Yombies. I mean, they were a pretty decent team last year. Yeah, they're missing some people. New quarterback. I didn't see Justin out there, so I'm going Yombies. What do you got?
I'm going the other way. I'm going New Breed because this is a team, in my opinion, that is due to get a break.
Yeah.
They've lost a couple of real tough games. They blew a 3-touchdown lead
Oh.
to the Bankers flag team.
Right.
6-16. And they ran out of gas. They had 6 guys that day, plus someone got hurt. So I'm going to go with the Breed. I have a feeling that they're due to catch a break. This might be the week.
Yeah, let's hope.
All-Stars Savages. I'll go first this time. And I'm going with the All-Stars because the Savages have been playing well.
Yeah.
But I don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah,
And
and
when you have the unknown versus the proven, I'm going with the proven.
yeah, I got to agree with you. Don't know much about the Savages. Hopefully we'll get to see them soon. But it's the All-Stars. How do you pick against them? I'm sorry. It's when they lose more than one in a row, then maybe we can pick against them.
Until then?
But until then, you got to go All-Stars. especially in the 6-on-6. You know what I mean? Oh well, that's actually the beef flag. I'm sorry, or flag.
Flag, period.
But still, it's still, you know, same with it when they were non-6-on-6, we'll call it. You have to pick them. You know, you have to go with them.
All right, let's switch over to Laurel Field number 2, and this is a good one.
This is a good
Canes
one. Yep.
and the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs get the acid test this week.
Yes, they do.
What do you like, Mike?
Believe it or not, I'm going with the Canes. I'm going to go with the old fellas. I learned my lesson maybe last year, picking against them every week. But you know what? From that, I learned, hey, these guys, you can't just because they're old and they're slow and they're ancient, whatever, they know how to play the game. They know how to play flag football. They know how to play in this league. They know how to win. Enough said.
And I'm going to go with the Canes also, but I have a different reason. The Bulldogs have a lot of good athletes on their team. I still think their quarterback, who I like a lot, has really not stepped up and shown that he can win a game with his arm.
Yeah.
Wally, on the other hand, he's got a great running game. He can win a game with his arm.
Yeah.
And I think that gives the Canes the edge in this game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Canes also in that game.
I think there might just be too much defense for the Bulldogs, to be honest with you. Canes got a great defense, great line.
Put up a great fight. I think
Yeah.
they're going to play hard, but I think offensively, they're still looking.
Right.
You know, to find
Yeah.
their offense, and they need to win. The quarterback needs to win a couple of games with his arm.
Yeah.
All right, Hawkeyes and Suicide Squad. This is my turn now, right?
All right, yes.
Well, after the performance that Tony put in last week against a Trojan team that's really pretty good.
Right.
Their defensive captain might have left, but the defense players were still there.
Yeah.
So I think the Hawkeyes are hitting their stride. A lot of good players. Josh, Josh, you don't hear a lot said about him. I think he's one of the better players in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Guy can
Great
do
on
everything.
defense.
Can do everything.
Great as the safety back there. He's always in on those plays, and he comes up with some great catches when they need it.
Catches, picks.
He does, yeah. That guy, I'd watch out for him. He's quiet. You don't pay attention to him, but all of a sudden,
Watch out for these
yeah, there he is catching two interceptions and a game-winning touchdown. Oh, sorry.
Guys are quiet, and one day they go home with an axe and wipe out the whole team.
Ew, me.
But anyway, I'm going to go with the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, I got to go with the Hawkeyes too. Suicide Squad 1 and 2, lost last week or 2 weeks ago. You got to go with them. Hawkeyes, they're always up there on the top. They're hitting, like you said, I feel they're hitting their stride too.
All right, you're on this one, Mike. This is going to be an interesting one here.
All right, NJ Lions, Wolfgang. I'm going to take the NJ Lions. They're getting off the schneid this week. We're always saying they're right there, they're right there, they're right there. This could be that game that gives them that confidence, gets them moving, gets them going.
Okay, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with the Wolfgang, and I'm going to give you my reasons why. I think that the New Jersey Lions are big up front. They have a lot of guys up front that are big. They were missing a lot of guys. But the Wolfgang up front is not tiny.
Okay.
And I think that on the outside, I know the Lions have Floyd. Floyd can make plays. But I think Omar is going to be a big factor in this game.
Okay.
And I think that the game against the Canes might have shot a little juice into these guys this week.
Maybe.
I'm not going to say the Canes didn't play well, but the bottom line was they hung with them the entire game.
Yeah.
And their quarterback is young. He may be developing a little bit. He's got a decent arm. I've seen him.
Right.
I'm going to go with the Wolfgang in this
All right.
instead of the Lions.
All right, hey, I hear you. Maybe you're drinking the Kool-Aid, jumping on that bandwagon already,
no
huh? With the
bandwagon.
Wolfgang.
This is two teams that have fun again.
I know.
If it's a bandwagon, it's got only two wheels.
It's got
on it,
square wheels right now, right?
Really, exactly.
All right.
Really not moving fast. Okay, Laurel Hill field number
the other
one.
field, yeah.
The other field. This is on me. All Stars Dozers. I really like this Dozer team a lot.
Right.
But right now, they're just not. I can't even say they're not in sync because they played a great game against the Cobras last week. They played really well.
Yeah, and
they ran out of gas, but
these guys are running the gauntlet though. You had Sam's Taxi 2 weeks ago, you had the Cobras last week, and then you get the All Stars this week. That's a rough schedule for the.
It's tough. And I don't know what Sparks' situation is with this game this Sunday. He is not quarterbacking this team.
Okay.
Kevin is quarterback. He did an adequate job. He played very well. But again, the All-Stars in this division.
It's the All-Stars.
You knock them off.
Knock them off and then.
I'll believe you a little bit.
Next game I think is pretty easy pick. Panthers replacements. You going out on a limb on this one?
No. Are you kidding? When the bow breaks, Joey will fall.
Yeah.
Got
to go Panthers.
I have to go Panthers too. The old Flight Boys.
The old Flight Boys, yeah.
They're off to a 3-0 start.
Come on, replacements. Let's get a score or two at least, right?
Well, it's the second game of the day. The refs may get with the mercy rule.
Maybe.
game.
Maybe.
Sorry, replacements.
Sorry, replacements.
Go out, have fun, but
Yeah.
the fans are going to run you all over the field.
All right.
That's
Cedar Grove. This I'm not too sure of.
Cedar
Right here.
Grove, I was there once. It was close.
Yeah.
In town.
Ah, okay.
All right. Well, this one's on me, right?
Huh?
This one on me. Trojans and Bankers. I tell you what, I love both quarterbacks if they both stay the whole game.
Right.
Bankers have Collins. Collins is a great player. Unfortunately, he's a Buffalo Bills fan. And the Giants kicked your butt, Collins. So if I ever see you again, don't give me any more Buffalo Bill crap.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay, now that I've said that,
Feel better?
much better.
Good, good.
I think with this game, I got to go with the Trojans. I'm going with the Trojans because I saw them perform against the Giants.
Okay.
The Giants are big and tough, and the Trojans out-toughed them that day.
Right.
If everything is the same as it was that day, I think the Trojans here are going to win this game.
All right. I'm going the opposite way. Bankers with their new quarterback, fast, can run, can chuck it all over the field. Like you said, you know, they lost their defensive captain last week, but those players were still out there. Trojans,
Bounce back game.
let's hope, you know. I mean, they got a lot of guys. I hope they do, but I think the Bankers are just going to be too much for them.
Fair enough.
Bankers are looking
And
very,
now-
very good.
Now you can come back with the Bankers of Flag 6 against the Deep Threats, who you said you were very impressed with.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the deep threats. A lot of it, not just because of how they played last week, deep threats, but second game right in a row. That may tire them down a little bit. You know, and they're playing the B game, so it's a little more physical. These guys may, maybe just run down a little more. So I'm going to go with the deep threats in the 6 Bankers.
I said I believe the Bankers lost to the Zombies because Rojas was not there.
Right.
I'm going to assume that Rojas is going to be here for this game, and
Right.
Rojas makes the difference in this game.
Right. Okay.
So the Bankers, I don't like you in game 1, but I love you in game 2. I think you will handle the deep threats handily.
Yeah.
I got to throw that extra adjective.
I hear you.
All right, AT Mean Machine, go, man.
All right. You know what? I got a feeling. I'm going with the Mean Machine. Getting their first win. My upset pick. No, did they get their win last week? I don't believe they did.
Okay.
But I'm going, yeah, maybe they did. But I'm taking the Mean Machine.
You're going to go with the Mean
No reasons, just a gut feeling. When I saw the A team, they didn't look how in the spring they came on like gangbusters. We really thought that this team had turned the corner.
They were in a conference final.
Yeah, and when I saw them play, they just, I don't know,
And they lost that game in the last
they
minute.
did, and it just kind of looked very flat, very whatever. So, again, don't know too much about the Mean Machine, but just a gut feeling, going Mean Machine.
I'm going to take the A team because I don't believe they can play this badly 3 weeks in a row.
All right.
So, I mean, and that's it. I
Yeah.
think their quarterback is, he might be a little bit better than the Mean Machine's quarterback.
Okay.
Quarterback play in 6-on-6 is, touch rather, is paramount.
Oh, yes, very.
You got to have it.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Brookdale Park, where I'll be this Sunday. I love that field.
Yeah, very nice field.
Great field. So go ahead, Diablos NWO.
Got to go Diablos. 3-0, rolling right now. Even in week 3 when they showed up to play the Goons, they didn't even have enough guys, but still came out. People playing out of position. They did what they needed to do. Didn't have their quarterback. Pomo had to play quarterback. You're taking that element out of him being a wide receiver. He stepped in. Everybody took care of the business that they needed to do. This is a team. This is a team. You know what I mean? They don't, well, I'm this, I'm that. It's no, let's go out and win. And, I'm going with the Diablos. But I'll tell you, NWO has a new guy on the team, a big receiver out there. I mean, when you see this guy, you will think, oh, they must got a new defensive lineman or something. Big, long arms, big grip. But man, he could snatch that ball out of the air.
I got to be careful. I got to be careful, Mike, because I'm doing this game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe you shouldn't pick this game because you do have influence.
Oh yes.
As a ref.
Yes, I can change the game.
Because
Because I'm betting money on these games.
That's right.
You idiot out there, bum. I haven't
Yeah.
forgotten you, bum.
Yeah. What?
Cowardly.
Yeah.
I even gave him the address to the studio.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm going to just say this about that game. 4-0 against 0-4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if the Diablos don't win this game, I'll be very surprised.
Yes.
and
Yes.
I plan on keeping my whistle in my pocket.
Yeah.
Most of that day. But I'm going with the Diablos also.
And this, which will probably be game of the week.
This is the game of the week.
Cobras Bears. That's a tough call.
You know, I'm going to tell you, Mike, I saw the Cobras play.
Okay.
Okay. And we talk about their quarterback.
Yeah.
But man, they got some athletes on defense and offense.
Yeah.
So do the Bears. I mean, so
Yeah.
the Bears. But now it's a question of quarterback play, I think, is going to be the difference in this game. And it's tough for me to go against the quarterback of the Cobras because
Right.
I've seen him with the Dukes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've seen him with this team. He's got receivers. They've got ability. They've got a ton of athleticism. And just based on that,
Yeah.
I got to go with the Cobras.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cobras also. Watching the Bears play last week, yeah, I think they're on the comeback. Figuring out with no Jim, figuring out how to do this and getting it done. But I think, yeah, Cobras got a lot of firepower.
I'm going to put a caveat in there, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
If the Bears were to win this game, no surprise.
No surprise. Yes, this is one of those games.
This is a
we're
close game.
Yeah, we're flipping a coin on this one.
This might be an extra point.
Yeah,
game.
this
Might
could
be a
this
goal
could
for
be
two. Yeah,
this could be the Bears 2 weeks in a row going overtime.
Yeah,
but yeah,
this game this game is off the charts as far as betting it is.
Yeah.
You can't lay.
You don't
a
want
line
to
on
touch this one. Yeah.
Let's move down the road a mile and a half
Mile and a half.
to Waddesdon Park in Bloomfield, where I believe that the two best games of the week are being played.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you lead off on this one.
All right. Got Sam's Taxi versus Orange Lantern. Sam's Taxi, unbelievable athletes. But I think the Orange Lantern is going to take this one. I know it's going to be shocking. It was tough to pick this, thinking that the Blazers are going to lose 2 weeks in a row. But they got a little bit of chatty with each other on there, a little discombobulated in there. And now the Orange Lantern, they added some of the old Bruins on there. So, and the Orange Lantern are a good athletic team. Great quarterback. And now they just added more weapons. So I'm going to go with Orange Lantern.
All right, well, that's not a bad call. And again, I know a lot of guys on the Orange Lantern Reef. Their quarterback.
Yeah, great
arm,
quarterback.
Great arm, great leg.
Great arm.
Ryan anchoring the defense along with Chris.
Yep.
They've got some Bruins
Yeah.
that are playing with them this fall. They have a ton of ability. They got some good wide receivers.
Very
and I'm
good.
going with the Taxi Blazers. And I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you what. The Taxi Blazers, the fact that they were held to 14 points last week, that doesn't happen.
Right. No.
It doesn't happen too often. I still believe that. Their quarterback, the young kid that you.
I still think he's great, man. Jason, I think he is
I'm
great.
going out on a limb, and I'm taking the youngster over the experience.
Yeah.
Sometimes that could be a dangerous thing. But I just don't think the Blazers are going to come out in a very good mood this Sunday.
Yeah. Like I said, this was a hard game to pick, This was another hard one.
And again, it's the same thing like we said about the Cobras and the Bears. I'm picking the Blazers, but if the Lantern wins this game, I'm not going to be shocked. I'm just going on what I think, like they do on computers, probability.
Right.
That kind of stuff. I don't think that Blazers are going to be held. If the Lantern wins this game this week, I know they got a good defense. They're going to have to score at least 28 points.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
And that's if they play good defense.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Blazers are going to score less than 28 points.
No. I wouldn't think so either. Again, this was a hard game to pick. I think the Blazers are great. I think they're great. But they're missing something. And like I said, they really were getting at each other last week.
Well, because,
but early. It's not like, oh, things are falling apart and we're losing. This was a tight game. They really needed to stay together, I felt, And
Robbie Lane, a perfectionist.
yeah, and Jason, I saw it on the board too, man. He really needs to step up and start leading a little more. Yeah, it's Robbie's team, but he's the quarterback. He needs to. There was a few times he should have just taken off and run because that guy can scramble too.
Tebow finally got welcome back.
Yeah.
We're going to have you back on the show.
Yeah.
But he made a point that the Blazers in the playoffs have been deficient.
Yeah.
And and when you're deficient in the playoffs and you have those kind of athletes, everybody looks at the quarterback.
Yeah.
So what you just said makes a lot of sense. This quarterback's got to step up. Now, we've been calling him young for 3 years.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's call him an experienced young quarterback.
Yeah, he's definitely experienced. He's been in the playoffs a couple times. I
A little
mean,
bit. So,
yeah.
So I'm on the Blazers for this game, but again, no surprise if the Lantern wins.
yes.
Okay, let's switch it to the second game, and wait, do we even have to? I'll start this time.
All right.
Light 'em Up has played very tough.
Yeah.
They only lost by a touchdown to the Lantern.
Yep.
They have some good athletes on both sides of the ball,
Yep.
which is why I'm going with the Lightning.
Yeah.
Because, Mike, again, they're unbeaten. You got to knock them off.
They're 4-0, man. And, yeah.
You got to knock them off. And I see them running up some points. If the Lantern scored 28 on them or 27.
You're going to score points on the Lightning. You're going to score points on the Lightning. It's if you can stop them from
Oh,
scoring.
it's a shootout.
You know.
This is the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
You were right early on.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So
obviously,
are you going?
I'm going with the Lightning. Got to go with the Lightning.
All right. So Lightning, you got both our votes.
I think we know why I'm going with the
Well,
Lightning.
of course, Mike has already started to put his outfit together for your coronation.
That's right.
the end of
Nice
the
powder
season.
blue.
But yeah, so you got us on this game. Don't
Yeah.
let us down.
Yeah.
Orange Park, Wildcats and Militia. Wildcats, big win.
Yeah.
Big win over the Slugs. I think they keep that momentum going against the Militia.
Yeah, I'm going the opposite way. I like the Militia. They got a new quarterback in there. When I saw them, they were looking good, quick. They are to the line, hike it, boom, let's go. Boom, boom, boom. They are quick offense, getting it down the field. Boom, boom, boom. These guys, I'll tell you though, the Militia, they're getting up there. Some of these guys are old on this team, which is nice to see them running around. I like seeing the old guys out there.
And this one,
You know?
Mike, and you're going.
Yeah, I'm going Militia. I'm going
Okay.
Militia.
This game, I want to do this game first. The nice snatch, get off the schneid in this game.
All right.
I believe they will beat the Blanks. They will get into the win
Ugh.
column. And
0-3 versus
You know what? I
0-3.
am rooting for you guys this week because you're a nice bunch of guys. I always have fun when I do their games. We're always laughing, and
Yeah.
again, they have great attitude.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? They have some players.
Yeah.
Some players, and I think that is going to be enough to take care of the Blanks this week.
You know, yeah, just because you picked the nice snatch, I'm going with the Blanks.
Okay.
You know, it's an 0-3 versus an 0-3. I'm going Blanks. Come on, baby.
And now the last two games are very interesting. We just said the Outlaws hung in there with the
All-Stars, yeah.
The Goons put up 36. Can the Goons continue that kind of offensive onslaught against a team that's pretty good defensively?
You know what? Yeah. What I've realized with the Goons, if you can stay close with them, they tend to beat themselves. I don't know if you've noticed this. In the past.
There was a reputation until Kenny got there.
Yeah, but Kenny's not there now. And I watched that in the Diablos game. They were fired up, ready to go, came out, flying, killing it, boom. Once something starts going wrong, it really snowballs with these guys. So, the Outlaws, saying all that, I'm still taking the Goons.
That's like me.
Yeah, but hey, if the Outlaws can keep this close, within a score or two, get them frustrated. Goons, they tend to just too much fighting inside, yelling, screaming at each other. I don't know.
Well, anyway, you're taking the Goons.
I am taking the Goons.
All right, that's said. Now, the Goons put up 36 points last week.
Yeah.
34 points.
Okay.
Against the Sons of Anarchy, who are 0-4.
Yes.
Okay? So, now, the Sons of Anarchy scored 27 points themselves,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, did the Goons run it up or just barely outscore a team that's not very good right now?
Yeah.
Okay? I'm
Right.
looking at it that way.
Right.
This is why I'm going to go with the Outlaws. I think defensively, the Outlaws dwarf Sons of Anarchy.
Right.
I think they're much tougher defensively.
Hmm.
And the All-Star defense sometimes doesn't get a lot of
Goons.
accolades. No.
Outlaws.
No.
Oh, okay.
The
I
All-Star
got you. I got you what you're saying. Yes.
Now, they were shut out. Obviously, they're having some issues offensively.
Right.
But again, I'm going to credit a little bit of that to the All-Star defense.
They have a
So,
tremendous
I mean,
defense.
in adding up everything, I'm going to go with the Outlaws
All right.
because I believe defense can beat offense,
Yes.
especially in a flag.
All right.
So I'm going that way.
All right.
In the last game, we just said Sons of Anarchy 0-4, but they put up 27
Right.
against the Warriors. Go ahead.
Right. I'm going to go with the Warriors on this. They got to turn this around. They have too much talent, too many guys that they can rest, and soft spot for the Warriors. I like those guys.
I do.
Good guys, always come up and talk to you, very friendly, very, they're always happy to see you.
And I think
This could be that,
I think Shauno has found God or something. Because he is now the mellowest guy.
Yeah?
Nobody picks on him anymore on the board.
No, not too often,
he
yeah?
doesn't fire out anything.
Well, they've all been picking on Earl Biddy lately, is what it seems like. They're all coming after Earl.
And I want to go on record right now that we did not repost that.
No, the Earl
Somebody hiding behind the masquerade
Yes,
of
the
B
Earl
flag player
highlight.
put that on there. By the way, I found a new pizzeria. The chef is very good. His name is Mario.
Oh.
Just want to throw that in
Yeah.
there. But again, we did not post that. That did not
Yeah.
come from us. So now what we're going to do, Mike, is I'm going to put my initial here.
Yep, you got it. We'll tally them up. We'll
Tally them up. They'll be on the board.
Yes, they
Now,
will.
are we going to air before Saturday?
Yes.
We will. So this will give you guys a chance. Get them in there because when are you going to make the cutoff? Saturday night?
Yeah.
Saturday night.
I'll get them up there
cutoff.
Saturday. Just add it right to the thread that I'm going to post them up on.
And again, $75. All right.
If you
to
want
the
in.
winner. I mean,
Come
it's
on.
fun. You guys screw around on the board anyway.
Yeah.
This week's upcoming games, we did them. It's going to be a fun week, and
Yeah.
I guess I'll see you next Wednesday night, MC, huh?
Sounds good to me.
All right. From Mike and Joe, see you soon.
Here at Anthony Franco's, we take our food preparation very seriously, with the freshest ingredients delivered daily from the markets at Hunts Point and the finest pasta from one of Brooklyn's oldest pasta houses. We have a large variety of specialty pizzas, pastas, and sandwiches, along with a cozy dining area for your special events. With two great locations, 556 Route 17 North, Paramus, and 128 East Main Street, Ramsey. Call 201-447-3999 in Paramus and 201-238-8000 in Ramsey. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, free delivery.